Hey everyone, this is our third New World video vlogcast, and we're going to talk about many things, including the Wall Street Journal's new podcast on Second Life, also about the launch of Dual Universe, Nvidia's new kind of Midjourney meets Mesh program, and talk a little bit about the creation of the metaverse with the literal creator of the metaverse. And then we're going to do some reader questions, but first I should introduce the lovely Isabelle, my co-host.
Hello there.
How's it going, Isabelle?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How's your Second Life been lately?
Very quiet because I wasn't well for a few days this week, so I've been very quiet until I did the book club last night. So I actually I was actually not in Second Life for a few days, which was a bit of a shocker.
Right, and how was the book club?
It was really good. It was really good. We had a really good author on last night, Anne Griffin. She's an Irish lady, and it was so much fun. Like really good fun listening to her. Yeah.
Did she log into Second Life and everything?
Yeah, I think this is the second time she's been in, and she's got a parrot avatar, and it was really
nice.
good. Yeah, it's the second time she's been in and interviewed, and we were in the Irish pub, so that was quite cool. Yeah.
Oh, in a pub. Okay, that's cool. So it fit in nice and immersive.
Yeah, it was. It was really nice, like true Irish, and of course she's got this really strong Irish accent, which was just, I love that accent. I really love it.
Oh yeah, of course. That's. I was just thinking back. I think the first one we did was when I was at Linden Lab. We had my friend Cory Doctorow, really well-known kind of science fiction and kind of digital rights activist guy, and we brought him in. But he didn't know anything about Second Life, so we just plopped him down in the Linden Lab office in front of his avatar. And he's like, "Look how muscular I am!" He really got into it.
Yeah, actually, it's really good when we meet these people because, a lot of them have never been in before until they come in the show, or they come in for their lesson on how to log in and everything, and they're really fascinated when they see all the other avatars, and it's great. Yeah, really enjoy it.
We did a thing with Cory. I don't know if this has been done for a while, but we brought a copy of his book, or actually a first chapter, and someone scripted it, so all he had to do was touch the book, and it added his actual autograph to the virtual copy. Yeah, let me find that. I'll put a text in the comments because I think that would be a fun thing, because he had a huge line of people lined up for his autograph. And, it was a bizarre, typical Second Life, including one of those AT-AT walkers from Star Wars was getting an autograph. I'll post photos after that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no, that's fine.
Always fun.
I was just going to say, it's so funny because the green things, and you can see your green thing. I can't see it. But when you're talking, mine's flashing as though I'm talking. So if the viewers are watching this, I'm not mimicking. I'm not mimicking. Hamlet's actually speaking.
Yes. And so we're here. People were wondering, what the hell are you? We're sitting on what looks like kind of a East Berlin sort of security wall kind of thing. This is the Jesse wall, or what's remaining of it. It's one section of it. And so I thought we should do the show here because the Jesse wall is featured in the Wall Street Journal's new podcast about Second Life. It's called How to Make a Metaverse, but it's actually quite correctly about Second Life as kind of the pioneering attempts to make a metaverse platform and everything that we went through it. And so the Wall Street Journal sent over a reporter July, I think, and they interviewed me and talked about kind of all the early stories. And so the Jesse Wall is one of the kind of landmark stories back in 2003 when this used to be the combat zone in Second Life. And this was when Second Life was basically, it was only this continent. And the combat zone was part of the world, but it was cut off from the rest of the population. And so it became a literal war zone, especially as new users started to come in. This is 2003. And because the war in Iraq was happening at the same time, it got very political very quickly, because it was sort of the war gamers on one side of the Jesse Wall were mostly pro-war, and then on the other side were mostly anti-war, or at least they didn't like Bush and everything. So it become very political with actual virtual bullets flying back and forth.
Oh my God.
That's gonna be that's going to be in the second episode of the podcast, which I'll also post on New World Notes.
Yeah, because I've started listening to it, so I've listened to the first one, so I need to catch up.
The first one's great. It talks about kind of the formation of the world, and Philip Linden is talking about how they created it, and really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, I always listen to him, you know.
Oh yeah, I like the host. He's kind of like a surfer vibe.
I know, but I call him our daddy because he's our daddy.
Is Philip daddy? Well,
he is the daddy.
Daddy, it's a whole different.
Can you imagine it? Hi, daddy.
We should start tagging him on Twitter.
Oh, I know.
Hey, daddy.
Who's the daddy?
Good point, daddy. He'll get a kick out of that, I'm sure.
Oh gosh, okay.
That was cool.
Oh, moving right along.
Yeah. Oh yeah, daddy. And so another thing to mention, I just talked about the launch of Dual Universe, and that's available now. It's been in beta for a long time, but it finally launched, and I've been following it for many years because, a guy I respect he helped define the metaverse for IEEE, the engineering group, and he started telling me, "Oh, you gotta see Dual Universe. This is, Second Life is only baby steps. This is the whole thing because." It's not just one virtual world; it's an entire galaxy.
Oh wow!
But it has all the features of a metaverse in terms of you can create items with voxels, kind of like Minecraft, and you can basically create anything from scratch. So you're gonna want to. It's kind of a science fiction theme. So you're mostly going to be making spaceships and fortresses and so on. But I mean, you can build anything. And I was talking with the creator. He said you can create a whole castle and create a whole medieval planet, and that'll just be one planet in this whole galaxy. So they've really thought out kind of this whole platform to.
How do you get into this? Like, is it?
Well, so they just launched it. It's on Steam, and in fact, I checked my blog. It's there's some. I have some 1 month access codes.
Oh, I'll be there.
I think I have a couple left. So if you go and tweet it at me or hit me up on Twitter or Discord, I have a couple left, and I think we'll announce one later on. I'm going to have a 2 month option too, a 2 month free trial. So that's one way to jump in. I think it's like $15 or not. It's not super expensive, but it's really interesting. And like the scale is huge, and like for example, the local concurrency, they can get hundreds of people in the same space without like the insane lag. With Second Life, you can kind of get 200 if they're all standing on regions right next to each other, but it gets really laggy really quick.
Oh, okay.
But they can do that with hundreds.
I'm gonna hit you up for an entry.
Oh yeah,
have a look.
I will totally. I'll totally. In fact, you know what? I'll give you the 2 month free trial. You can go in.
Alrighty.
Check it out.
I'll tap you up after this.
All right. Hey. So that's been interesting. Another thing we should talk about. It's called Get 3D. It's a new. Well, they don't say program. They say it's a process. It's from Nvidia, the big graphics company.
All right.
But it's basically Midjourney meets the metaverse, because like Midjourney, you can put in some text prompts.
Okay.
And it generates 3D objects.
I saw something in my Midjourney chat because I'm like one of those basic subscribers, and I did see something really late last night, but I went to bed. But I did see something about this 3D thing. Someone had mentioned it in the chat, so I'm interested in hearing about this. Yeah, and it's interesting because we barely processed that you can generate all these amazing images in 2D with Midjourney and other programs, and now it immediately popped out with 3D. In fact, I was talking with AM Radio, the famous Second Life creator, about this because he was playing around with Crayon. That's another one, and he was able to, just through text, he was able to generate what looked really amazingly like The Faraway, his famous
Second Life installation where it's a train in the middle of a field. And so he put that in the crayon. He inputted a rusty train in the middle of a field, and it looks like it. And so he's like, well, I can see this happening in 3D very quickly. And he said that only 2 months ago. So and then they've already got kind of the initial version of that. And
jeez.
so it opens up a whole other can of worms for 3D creators in Second Life and other platforms. Is okay, what's going to happen when people can make mesh without even knowing Blender? They can just kind of go, okay, well, give me a chair, and boom, there's a chair.
Oh my God, I could become a creator. That's quite laughable, me.
I think people will do that just for basic. Okay, we just need chairs here for the scene, and just boom.
I'm queen of the box.
Exactly. How are you queen of the box?
I'm queen of the box. I make solid boxes. That's it. I tried to make a house once, and what I did was I put lots of boxes on top of each other, and then I made a wall with lots of boxes. And here's me not thinking, let's make a wall, because at the time all I knew was you make a box. This is years ago, and I made this little house with lots of boxes. It was so stupid.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was. I should do it again, actually. That might be fun.
I mean, that's something we could talk about more in a future episode. I've talked about this with Corey and Draka, one of the he's the founding CTO of Second Life, and he thinks that's something that kind of took us on a wrong path, was to have offline mesh, and then you create the mesh in Blender, and then you upload it into Second Life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of hurt the democratization of creativity in Second Life, because all of a sudden the primary form of creation, you have to know Blender or Photoshop or other
outside
3D
of Second Life,
right. And so all of a sudden there's a hierarchy where, at least with prims, like you're saying, you're doing boxes of prims and you're able to make a basic thing, and kind of everyone can do it, at least on a basic level. But then when you enable offline mesh, it immediately creates it like it's only like, say, 5% of the population can do it well, and then everyone else gives up on prims pretty much. I rarely see people creating with prims, even though it still exists.
Yeah, I like a little prim.
So it's kind of hurt the Second Life culture, I think. And
I mean, what we're sitting on is a prim, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me click on it.
It looks. Take it. This is all prim based.
It's an object,
It looks cool.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the start of the box.
Yeah.
But it looks,
I'm having a look at the box.
looks pretty. It still looks high quality. So, Corey's idea was, well, you should have had a mesh editor, so it's mesh, so it's high quality graphics, but you would edit it in world, so everyone would still be able to access it. And some people would be better at it than others, of course, but it would be using the in-world tools. And I think that's something to think about for future metaverse platforms.
Who's to say they're not thinking about it? Who's to say? You just never know, do you? So I mean, if someone's thinking about it, then they must be thinking about it. I'd like to think that they were. Yeah, definitely. And then they might be able to create me a prim box place, so I can sell my prims.
I think, like for example, Fortnite Creative has kind of that, where you can the tools give you all these building blocks. You already have high quality building blocks to start with, and then use that to customize your items. And I think you can import stuff, but the basic tools are the ones that most people work with. So there's ways around that. So. Anyway, something to think about. How we doing? We should.
Hang on a minute.
You want to check out the Beanstalk?
Yeah. Let me just. Okay, so let me just think. Are we gonna fly there? Walk there?
I'm gonna walk. So.
Okay, I'm gonna bounce to the ground.
Might as well.
Yeah.
And let me know when you're filming.
Oh, I am.
Okay. Oh, well, the audio got, like I'll go back on. And in the water. Oh, no flying.
Okay.
So
So
here we are. Where are you?
I'm under the water.
Oh, okay.
Do I need to come up?
Well, no, I mean.
Oh, I know. I can walk up
scuba
the
gear.
hill here. There's a hill under the water, so I'm walking up over it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, then I'm
flying. I'm
son of-
flying. Can you see
flying,
me?
and we're flying.
Can you see me?
Where are you? No, I don't. Can you see me?
Hang on. Let me cam round. Let me see if I can see you. Is that you? No, that's a twig. Okay.
Hamlet or a twig?
I'm just going to go and find you. Because I saw it somewhere over here. I think I'm in the right direction.
I'm still by the wall. If you wanna.
Where are you? By the wall?
Yeah.
Are you above ground?
Yeah, I'm hovering right above the wall.
Oh, above the wall. There you are. Blind as a bat, I am.
All right.
Can you see me?
No, but no, there you are. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I guess
Okay.
we might as well fly to the
Yeah.
fly to the
Fly to the
beanstalk.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Going? Oh, yeah. I'm going around just in case they've got security.
Oh well, yeah. I noticed the Japanese some kind of combat folks, so they got the security orbs and such.
Okay.
Leave or we'll blow you up.
I'm by the
So
beanstalk.
we're going to the
down to the ground.
we're going to the beanstalk.
Oh, I've gone underwater.
And here we
Yeah, where are you?
right. Here we go. Nope. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Okay.
there you are. Okay. So, how do you climb this damn thing?
Yeah, good question. So here, everyone, we're at Stellar Sunshine's Beanstalk, and this is literally the oldest thing in Second Life that's usually created. It's technically it's 20 years old because it was created in Linden World in 2002.
Right.
And Stellar Sunshine is the first Second Life user, and so they brought her in early alpha. And they talk about this in the first episode of the Wall Street Journal podcast we're talking about, and also in my book, where they brought her in, and then they left for the night, closed the doors. They were in a warehouse at the time, Linden Lab's office was, and they left and they came back in the morning. And Stellar had created this beanstalk.
It's amazing.
Overnight.
I just cammed while you were talking to show people the sheer height of it.
How huge it is.
Yeah.
It's still quite huge by current standards.
So
And
you're jumping.
so-
Is that how we're supposed to get up?
yeah, there's rules here.
Okay.
So you can fly, but the whole object here, and I'm going to start, is to try to climb the beanstalk through jumping.
Right.
So it's like an insanely difficult platform game,
Oh,
like
okay,
Super
so-
Mario Brothers.
Okay, so each
oops,
leap-
son of a-
Right. Okay.
Hey. Yep, nope, go, stop. Like, you have to, it's, because
Oh yeah.
how Second Life's physics, it's sort of like you're on the moon or something, like, yeah, I'm getting there.
Oh no,
So,
no, no.
yeah, you gotta tap. So,
Okay.
so while we're doing this,
Yeah. Okay.
we should, what else are we talking about? Oh yeah, well, I mentioned I talked with the literal creator of the metaverse, and his name is Neal Stephenson, which I've noticed that I've talked to people who play Roblox or VR chat,
Yeah.
or even Second Life, really, and go, have you heard of Snow Crash and Neal Stephenson? And they're like, what? Oh,
Yes.
is that like Ready Player One? And I'm like, no, it's the guy who kind of got this whole thing started. He wrote
Yeah.
Snow Crash, and in this, it's about a future society, and in the future society they have this huge virtual world called the metaverse. And
I just fell. Sorry.
as we climb the beanstalk, and early on, Philip Rosedale's wife, Yvette, gave Philip a copy of Snow Crash in the early 90s, and she said, oh, here's a book about that thing you keep talking about. Because, I mean, the metaverse in Snow Crash kind of formulates and illustrates and visualizes sort of concepts that people were talking about at the time, like, you know, what if the internet, because the internet already existed at that point, it was, you know, mostly email and file transfers and but what if it was in 3D? So it was a virtual world. So people were talking about that beforehand. They're like, oh my God, this beanstalk. Talking about how do we visualize the internet? So what if we do, you know, make it a world? So yeah, Snow Crash was the best realization of that, and it really thought out all of the implications of what that would be like. Not only it will be 3D, but there's going to be currency, there's going to be creation tools.
Just to let you know, you're breaking up a little bit. Good old.
How about now?
Okay, no, you're fine now. It's just weird how it does it every now and then. Right, let me just jump. Oh no, I'm down again. I wonder if I can cheat. I wonder if I can cheat.
I don't know.
I don't know
if anyone has ever climbed it successfully.
Oh, I said to
20 years.
No, I went
you know,
teleport to you and it put me on the ground.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna post a challenge. I will give, I don't know, 10,000 lindens if someone can climb this frickin' beanstalk. And so you'd have to have a camera running.
Oh yeah.
So you know, you can speed it up, but you know, like I want footage of someone climbing this beanstalk and
this is
$10,000 million for the first person who does that, because
this is amazing.
I was like, oh, this is fun, and I'm like, holy shit, I don't think anyone can do this. Because
yeah, I've got a better idea. Where's this thing?
Yeah.
Have you seen this thing here where you click it and there's a bubble?
Oh, it floats you up there?
Yeah. Is that cheating?
I give up. I'm fluid. No. It's secondlife is whatever you make with it. So
I'm just trying to see where you are.
Someone could climb this. I'm gonna fly up the beanstalk.
Okay.
Maybe I'll meet you up there.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Because holy shit, it goes through the clouds.
Okay. So.
Keeps getting through the clouds. Oh, and then.
Oh, there you are.
There's,
Oh, it keeps going.
oh yeah, no, it's still going up.
Wow, look at this.
Sure, there you go. I'm gonna sit on the top. Maybe you can sit on the top of me.
Okay, let me try and sit on a leaf. Sit here.
There we go.
Why is it not letting me sit there? Sit here. No. Oh, do I have to? I know. If I stop flying and then sit here. No.
Yeah. Fell through the clouds.
Oh my God. See, people can't cheat. Oh my God. How did you get to sit? It wouldn't let me sit.
Yeah, it was a fly and sit. Like you gotta.
Oh look, you know. Oh, I know what I can do.
There you go.
I can stand on a leaf. Right. Page down.
There you go.
There we go.
You can sit down.
Okay.
Here we are. But anyway, yeah. So Neal Stephenson kind of described the metaverse, and it's been interesting that he you know, a whole book is devoted to it, and Philip and a lot of people who have worked in metaverse platforms, John Carmack, the folks at Roblox, a lot of people cite the Snow Crash as kind of the original conception, and then as the metaverse got all hyped up, the reporters started going, well, what is the metaverse? No one can define it. And I'm like, dude, there's a whole freaking book that people, it was literally in Linden Lab's office when I came in there for the first time. Like people would reference it. So anyway, I talked with Neal and talked with him about how he defines the metaverse now, and then he's actually helping build it. He's working for a startup, or he co-founded it, called Lamina One. They're trying to create a tool chain and a monetization platform so people can make money off of things they create across multiple metaverse platforms.
Oh wow!
And there's a blockchain aspect to it, but yeah, it's really interesting.
Oh, cool.
talk into more details as they launch it. But yeah, it's been fascinating to see develop.
And
So yeah, that's
Drax has talked about that book quite a lot, because when Facebook started its metaverse thing, and he kept saying, "You need to read this. You need to read this," and I think I best because clearly it has a lot to play. And something very interesting to read. So I'm definitely going to read it, I think.
It's yeah. I mean, to tell you how prophetic it is, he describes what kind of avatars they have in the metaverse. And this is years ago. And he says, oh yeah, it'll be like supermodels, but also dragons and a giant talking penis.
Wow.
And lo and behold,
there's
a giant talking penis. Like only about 10 years later in Second Life, I'm like, yep, there's a giant talking penis. So,
jeez.
Yeah. It's eerie.
That's interesting, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I put the whole interview or parts of it. Parts of it are going to be in my book, which plug is Why the Metaverse Matters. But yeah, I talked about Lamina 1 topics in New World Notes, so you can give that a read.
Yeah. Oh.
So there we go. And we should talk about some reader questions. So we got some mail questions. Did you get any questions?
I didn't, unfortunately. No.
Oh.
I don't. Maybe I need to stipulate it more. I might harass people.
Well, here's one. We'll gonna do ones next week, but from you. But well, here's one we can both answer. This is from GoGo, the awesome fashion blogger. So tell us the time when the decision made by Linden Lab made you go WTF.
Made you do go? Oh, I can tell you. In 2016, a decision was, and I still don't know what it is today, but I was banned on Second Life. I had all my accounts. Yeah, for 3 months, I couldn't get in my alts or anything. And I honestly, I did a ranty video on YouTube because I was like really frustrated. I went to that Better Business Bureau, because someone in America told me to go to them. Yeah, I went to a number of people, and eventually someone at Linden Lab had watched my video where I really went berserk because I said I was quite clear about, and they actually rectified it. He got in touch with me and emailed me, asked me a couple of questions about my alts and stuff. They said that they couldn't tell me what the situation was because of security protocols, and they issued all my accounts back to me. So I was grateful for that.
Shit.
But I went through a lot for that.
Yeah.
A hell of a lot. It was so... I can't tell you how upsetting it was. It was so upsetting. But what I did learn from it, what they did say to me, which gave some indication, but I don't know how that fitted with me, was you should never share your account or your password or login with anybody. And I said, well, I knew that.
Oh.
Yeah. So I knew that.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But that made me read the terms of service. And I thought, and every time I listen to people who share their accounts, oh, I've logged in as such and such, and they're on YouTube, I'm thinking, why are you doing that? You nuts. Don't go into people's accounts and don't share your login details. Because quite rightly, you don't know who you're sharing it with, So.
I think they changed that wording slightly to allow third-party apps that use Second Life. Like it'll say something like, "Be very cautious about sharing your password info." But for example, if there's a Speedlight, and then any third-party viewer, you're going to have to share your password with another party other than you. So they had to reword that a bit. But that's not a good idea. So what happened? Do you think? Someone accessed your account and logged in as you?
No, but I must admit, when I got, was it this account? When I got one of my accounts back, there was some stuff in there that I thought, hang on a minute, I don't recall this. Just purchases, and there was also a couple of names on my friends list, and I thought, well, I don't know who they are. But that was weird. But to this day, I don't know. And to be honest, it's over and done with. But I see it all the time where people do complain about stuff like that, how difficult it is to get resolved. But then when I ask them, because some people who saw what I went through will ask me via my YouTube video, this has happened, then I'll say to them, contact me in World or whatever, and then they'll come to me and they'll say, I signed in as such and such, and I was like, well, you shouldn't be doing that. Just don't do it. That's why, because you don't know the person you signed in as and what they're up to. I've never signed in for someone else, so I only sign in for
probably a good idea.
The book club, which is something completely different. The avatars to fix them, but that's it. I don't. That was the one thing where I went WTH, WTF.
One of those. It escalated from an H to an F.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! What the fuck?
Yeah. Actually, the other time was when Strawberry Linden had done a really great video, and this is years ago, before they realised how fabulous she was and they employed her. And she did a video and she showed the webpage or something, and they were really not happy about that. But there was one person at the lab that got that wrong, and they fixed it quite quickly. So of course, that was another time I think a lot of us went, what the hell? Because all she did was promote Second Life. And I mean, today they have wisely employed her.
Yeah, my sense is she runs most of the social media now, and it's definitely got a lot more fun, a lot more sexy. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Even like TikTok now, which is like,
I know.
Wow, you're acting like you're acting like a cutting edge company as opposed to a 20-year-old, which is like ancient by Silicon Valley standards.
I love it with the TikTok. So I'm like, oh yeah, I see lots of avatars on TikTok. I love it.
I've noticed that. Yeah, it's cool. And one thing I might add with the whole, because this happens a lot where someone's account gets banned or something weird happens.
Yeah.
I think again, it's people need to get a premium account. The more people put more money into, well, first of all, you get advantages with the premium account, and also just, they're only bringing in so much money to maintain a profit margin, and the more subscribers they have, so that means more revenue, and the more money they get put into customer service, because you got 600,000 people using this, and there's gonna be like 1% a day giving them problems, so they're getting 6,000 problems a day, and that's just pile up. So the more money they have, the more money they can put into customer service, and the less times this will happen.
People forget that. I think people forget that actually something like this takes money to run, and it takes money to employ the people that keep it going. So a membership is a great thing. I think it is. And also I find that when you go through to them and you want to contact them, they do work really hard, and sometimes they're dealing with you and someone else at the same time. Do you know what I mean? It's like so I appreciate what
having even because when I was still at Linden Lab like 2006, I could already see the customer service folks were just up to their freaking eyeballs and stuff happening. Like just incredible amount of drama. So I can see it from their side of things. So that's good. Oh, and I should say what made me say W2F, and this is kind of a current events item. So I have no WTF idea why Linden Lab got rid of OnLive, their streaming service. It was called So Go. That was launched in 2012, 2013 or so. It was a streaming service, so you wouldn't need to install a program. You can, it was like a little applet, but you could run Second Life through any
browser.
You can run it on mobile, kind of a browser. You can run it on mobile, and you can run it from any laptop.
Was it actually? Was
like
it
an
actually
old
theirs?
laptop?
Was it theirs?
Sorry?
Was OnLive theirs?
They partnered with OnLive. It's a startup.
Oh, okay.
So they're closely partnered with OnLive, and you can run it from any old laptop and also mobile. Like it worked pretty well on an iPad, and it was really because all of the graphics problems just went away. You would log in and get really beautiful 3D graphics and look great, and
wonder
I have no idea why they got rid of it, because I talked to the head of development there, Dennis. What the hell was his name? Dennis somebody. He was saying, yeah, actually we were getting a lot of traction in it, because it was they had an a la carte plan at the end, like I think it was like $15 a month, something like that, all you can stream.
Yeah.
And people were signing up for it, and they were getting good traction. So it was starting to be successful.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It might have took a while to actually get profitable, and then just for people trying out Second Life, like I've had this problem, especially with media folks now that because of the metaverse hype, people want to get back into Second Life and see what that's about. And then they come back to me, well, I logged in, and I it looks horrible. And I say, do you use a laptop? And they, yeah, of course I use a laptop. Like most people are on a laptop. And Second Life looks awful on most laptops. Even a lot of gamer laptops, it does not look good.
I agree with that.
And so again, if they even had a streaming option for laptops, like maybe you could do a preview, like here's a 3-hour preview on streaming. So you get a good experience in the beginning. And so again, WTF, I don't get that. Like you're never gonna get new users until at least 10-20% of them have a halfway decent experience, and that's not happening. And streaming would solve that problem.
Yeah, and also a lot of people, I think even more now, probably can't afford high-end computers anymore. Where people used to buy things and used to upgrade and that. I know that if I need to upgrade at any time in the next year, I won't be able to, because financially people are a little bit more strapped now. So if they were to access it using something like that, that would be a plus for them to experience it and know whether they want to invest any further.
Right. And people can figure out the economics. So streaming, it was, I think, $10-15 a month.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, instead of buying a new computer for, $2,000, what if you just pay for streaming? And streaming is going down quite rapidly. The cost, it's going to get to a point where it's, say $1 a month or so at some point. I mean, I did some work with Sinewave. They're kind of a son of Second Life virtual world, Science Space, and they have a one for business people called Break Room, and that's all on the web browser. They use streaming, and I was talking with Adam Frisbee. You might remember him as Adam Zayas from way back, because he started as a land baron in Second Life.
Yeah.
But he's the co-founder, and he was saying, at some point the streaming costs are going to go so far down that you can do any streaming, and the costs are going to be pretty minimal. So people don't have to think about, am I going to get a huge, $2,000 investment to run Second Life and other virtual worlds. Instead, you'll just stream it. That's interesting. In the news today, Google just canceled its streaming service called Stadia.
I heard of that. Yes.
Yeah, and they, I think, because Google they went about it the wrong way. They offered the streaming service for hardcore AAA games, like Assassin's Creed and games like that, and which is exactly the wrong type of game to have, because you need super responsive. It's got to be no stuttering or whatever. And with streaming, there's a slight delay. It's like a split second. But with a virtual world like Second Life, it doesn't really matter, because right here, even on a really good computer, you're gonna have some kind of slight frame rate delay, but with the streaming, it solves most of that problem. But I think if Google Stadia had been more aimed at MMOs and virtual worlds like Second Life, I think it would have been a lot more successful, and they didn't. So they just gave up. But anyway, that's kind of a WTF on the industry in general.
Can I give you a hello? Guess what?
Yes. Yes.
My frame rate is at the moment 92. Whereas when it's on the ground, when it's on the ground, it always goes down, which is always interesting.
Oh, right, because you shoot your videos like in a skybox, like
I always do,
like 1,000, just to get away from all the stuff.
And I haven't even got us on Ultra. I put us on and the next one down from ultra. I always go on ultra, but I thought, well, we're on mainland, I'd go down a bit because it was a bit choppy down there. But if I were to put us on ultra now, it would probably look heaps better as well.
And we should post a link to the video you made. That was really cool. It would like that had the best frame. I'm like, holy shit, is this even Second Life? Because the frame rate was just amazing.
Thank you.
But yeah, like you say, oh yeah, it went 1,000 meters up. So yeah.
I've always done it, always in the sky.
Yeah.
It's just
so
my thing.
Until there's a streaming option, go in the sky.
Yeah, then I'll be able to go down low.
But that should probably wrap up the episode. I think I had some other questions, but we can jump to them for the next episode. But thanks everyone. And thank you, Isabelle.
That's a pleasure.
My lovely co-host. And what's your Twitter and Discord and so on?
Same name, Isabelle Cheren. I don't really use my Discord with people. I did start it, but now I just use it for things like talking to you or Drax or specific things. But I use my Discord because I belong to other groups. I belong to Sansar.
Isabelle. Yeah. So Isabelle with two L's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. And I'm SL Hamlet on Twitter and Plurk, and then my Discord is WGA at 3552, something like that. But thanks to everyone, and please post questions in YouTube that we can try to answer next week, and smash and subscribe that button.
Yeah. See you later.
As we say. Okay. Thanks you all.
Bye.
Talk soon. Bye.